Welcome back to the Sentai Review. We have to talk about...
A website.
A website.
Things! Wait, is it our website?
Yeah, first. Hey guys, I know you're about to get your podcast on, so I'll be quick. If at any time you feel like dropping your own opinion into what we're talking about, head on over to fandomnight.com, and all of the contact information for every single one of our shows, including the one you're about to watch, is there. Alright guys, I'll leave you alone. Now that our website is out of the way, let's introduce ourselves and talk about this thing I don't know about.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Reploid Bill Willingbush.
Sud-level Sario.
Scott Action Jackson.
Shane McCree, the proto guy.
There's a lone paladin here!
And you heard that?
Okay.
Maybe.
So,
Okay.
I looked in the folders today, just to get this little story out of the way, and there was like 5 or 6 things to choose from for, because look, there's a lot we have to do. So
Yeah, there's always a lot of things to cover with the Sentai Review.
we have a couple hundred episodes backlogged that need to be done, but he always brings 5 or 6 possibilities with him that we can work on at any given day.
Get anything, in case we're tired of one thing and switch to another.
One of the things he brings me is something called The Roar 2017 PR, to which I said, what?
The Roar is a fictional website for the Angel Grove High School for the movie of the Power Rangers.
And it interested me, so we're going to figure out what that is and look at the images he brought, and he's going to explain some of it to me, I guess.
Yeah.
Here we are.
And this first image is like the top of the first main page of the Roar.
So this here is Angel Grove High if it had its own actual website in the real world.
Angel Grove
kind of like how
Highschool.com.
Bartonville now has websites and things like that.
Yeah, as you can see, it's got its own little logo thing with the mascot is a tiger. And
I wonder if that's a kickback. Like
from
if that's
what I heard, yes, even in the trailer it was seen.
No, I mean, like, I wonder if that's supposed to be referencing, White Tiger and, you know what I'm getting at? Because I don't think we ever got to see the football team in this show. I don't think we ever did, so what were they? Did they have one?
I don't know, but on the opposite side of the Roar name is the actual symbol for the high school, which I know I got a separate logo itself, which might be really pixelated once we zoom in when we get to it, but... But, this front image, we saw this in the trailer because of why the cafeteria is closed. Because of these power coins frying the whole tray lineup thing.
Okay.
But because of it being based off of what's happening in school, they do their own, like...
do you know how often this is updated? Is this like, can we check this every now and then as if we were looking at...
You could. I know the last time I checked it, it had the same amount of images and stuff, so the first time I checked it was maybe 2 months ago.
Because it would be neat if they were updating this every week with, like, fake articles for, to advance the universe and ideas like that.
Well, you notice that 2 images, or 2 things on there say, coming soon. Arts and entertainment and staff. They haven't really announced the teachers for the movie, have they? Or the principal.
Now, in the original Power Rangers, we often were introduced to the principal and the heavier set lady, right? You know what I'm talking about? And then they did like the weird show and tell episode where everybody was bringing stuff in and...
The teachers are Mr. Kaplan, who was the principal and the fill-in teacher.
See, I remember
Miss
him.
Appleby.
Yeah, see, okay, so those are the only 2 I remember, and to be fair, those are the only 2 I see.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, okay, and I'll see in
the website.
Yeah, okay, so it's
Okay,
neat. I might go through this later and actually look at this, because this is kind of a neat concept. But for right now, rather than kind of convolute everything we're doing. Next?
Yeah, go ahead, next. Okay. And this is towards the bottom where it actually has, on the very bottom corner, you can see the little lightning that actually leads you back to the main source of the Power Rangers website for the movie.
Look at that. Little lightning bolt, that's neat, I guess.
But otherwise, they do have where you can sign up for updates as far as this fictional website goes.
Letter to the editor, Trini Talks.
Yeah. There's all kinds of different news and
This is actually
writing
this is actually
to the editor.
cool.
This is a neat little advertising ploy. It adds a little more credibility to the universe they're trying to build.
Yeah.
This is actually kind of neat, actually.
Next.
Which is funny
The roar.
considering the fact
Yeah.
that we just got done destroying the movie in the last episode because of the.
I
fucking
complained
Megazords.
about the Megazord.
Megazord is really
We bitch about the
Yeah,
the
well,
toys.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that's just kind of funny.
But yeah, here's the logo
We're
from
like,
the
well,
top
hell,
of the
they're building
website.
the universe
Right.
in the last episode.
Next.
This fucking story better
And
be amazing. 'Cause
The
these
small
Zords suck.
little.
a shield and with, I'm assuming, angel wings above it.
To be fair, what you just said, this is helping that.
Yeah, I know.
If they can convince me to like this universe and these characters
That's why I'm
before they
laughing.
show me that Megazord in action, they might help themselves. Next.
There is
Kimberly.
Kimberly.
Okay.
This is just an image that was on one of the articles about Kimberly walking through the halls, possibly changing boyfriends or something. So
So it's like a gossip column at their newspaper type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm okay with that. That makes a little bit of sense.
And once again, the little Angel Grove logo is in the corner.
Right. I mean, I guess I buy the school look. Just kind of looking at the side lockers and crap like that.
And also, this must be like prior to the trailer taking place because she has her long hair.
It's been a while since I've been in school personally, but I still have been around the buildings, and this seems...
High schoolish.
No, I was going to say that their school seems very boring. It's very...
Because it's very plain. There's
Yeah.
nothing on the walls, no like posters.
like
no.
like the school I was at was very like kind of like blue hallways, and they had posters up, and yeah, let's go Rockets and logos and shit. It didn't like excite me to go to school or nothing, but this is incredibly plain hallway
Maybe
right
with,
here.
Maybe with the budget of the Megazords, they couldn't afford it.
Could also be the idea. There are some areas of the old school, like I remember if you went back by the band area, there was just like some plain ass old white hallways and shit. Next.
Maybe the school looks better as you go through it.
Right.
And this
So
is another,
there's Kimberly with her short hair.
Yeah, this is the
There's-
image from the trailer, more or less. So
That is Billy and
Jason.
Is that
Yeah, I believe
Jason?
that's Jason.
Jason in the middle.
Jason in the middle, Billy.
Because Jason looks a lot like Kirk.
Okay, so we got Jason, Kimberly, and Billy here. Am I right?
So,
Yeah, and this is like from the trailer where they were talking about, we got powers. We got powers now or something.
Okay.
okay,
Next.
so
Oh, wait.
after doing some digging real quick, though, I found somebody who decided to lay out a troll, because somebody actually asked the question, was there a mascot in MMPR? First person goes, the Angel Grove Cute Fuzzy Bunnies,
What is this on? Is this on
which
our
is
stuff?
clearly a troll. No, this is, I'm actually at a Ranger, basically a board, like a messenger thing.
All right.
But somebody actually replies, it was the Wildcats, because I remember seeing it in the football season, and I think on Shift into Turbo Part 1. So I'm a little bit more inclined to believe that person.
Okay,
Because
so
they
it's,
can at least cite episodes.
and it's very possible that they just kind of changed it. But this could be, like I said, this could be one of those slight little nods to try to say, hey, we didn't forget you, original fans.
Yeah.
Here's a tiger.
Here's a tiger.
We didn't give you enough to latch onto, but here's a little taste.
Yeah, but I'm seeing that in a lot of these new things. Next. That person.
Yeah, this is a part of a snap pics that the students are doing.
So we have Candy Washington.
Angel Grove Tigers. That's the
So ready
team.
for sweater weather. Angel Grove Tigers, okay.
Hold up. Is it just me, or was she one of the chicks who was pushing around Kimmy in the bathroom?
It's possible. If she's going to be in the movie, I imagine she's probably
She's
been
just a
utilized
bully.
for the website. Next. There's that person.
I think this one was,
Yeah, I can almost guarantee this broad.
Corey Torres.
Corey Torres.
Why does Torres sound familiar to me?
Fuck me. All right, back to the internet.
That would probably be tough. What? Volana Torres. Yeah, that just answered it for me. Star Trek.
Okay, fair enough.
Next.
Kimberly Hart.
Kimberly Hart, Waiting for Friday Like.
And she's apparently talking to somebody, but this is with her short hair.
He could be right.
Yeah,
Next.
random posing for no reason.
Check that dude out.
Hey, look, Shane!
I got wicked hair.
If you were to rock a hawk like that, I would actually give you mad props.
Dude, I would.
But I know you would get your ass beat at work.
I don't know.
How much product that would take?
Since Bill left, I have actually been getting along with everybody.
Shane couldn't handle this kind of hair. For one, he has to shave the side of his head. For two, he would have to spray paint and mousse and treatment the crap out of his hair every morning, which one, he doesn't have the time to do because he has to wake up, get a shower, and barely make it into work before the bells go off.
We're not in school. There's no bells. I just get there.
You know what I
Technically,
mean.
there's a whistle for work, but you know.
No.
Believe it or not, there's nothing.
Yeah, I know.
You just
There's
walk in.
There's just the guy walks up and says,
there's
"You're
a
late."
whistle. There's the boss going, "Hey, get your ass to work."
He doesn't know my boss. He doesn't.
Well, that's
Yeah, I
my
was going
boss.
to say, your boss.
Yeah, I was about to say that's my boss. If my boss walks by and I happen to be sitting down on my 5 minute, he goes, "Hey, fuck you doing?" I just sat down for my 5 minute. Well, hurry up.
Yeah, hurry those 5 minutes up.
Hurry up a 5 minute break. You heard me.
Let me control time real quick.
See if you can get
No.
these 5 minutes done in the next 3, damn it.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm fired because I have an
Best
attitude.
hurry your fucking 5 minute break up. Tell your friends to fuck off.
No shit. Next. That
Zach?
guy.
Zach.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Control yourselves.
I still...
Why do I have
I
a Ray
still
Park
just
feeling
don't
from him?
having a hard time controlling myself.
You feel the Zach from this
Of
image?
course.
You feel the dance, the attitude, the passion, the fun of the Zach man?
I feel that I don't want to get punched in the face. Jesus Christ, his arms.
This Zach will fuck your shit up.
Billy kind of feels like Billy in the little bit that we've been given.
Yeah.
The character that seems most miscasted is Zach.
Yeah.
We haven't been given any fun from him yet. And even this fake
Yeah.
website just shows him doing a glamour shot.
He's a model. That's model Zach. It's not dancing Zach. They just tried to they threw that fucking fun dancy Zach away. Now he's a model. You accept
No.
the change. You accept the change now.
I think that'd be next.
Next.
Did I fuck with you? See,
Oh, look.
There's Billy
Oh, there's Billy in the classroom.
raising his hand.
And look,
Trying
there's
to answer.
that guy.
Oh my God, he's wearing a bear with boxing gloves.
Blue
Oh,
boxing gloves. Oh, blue pin.
Oh, epic foreshadowing,
Get him an apple.
Shit.
or a pineapple,
Or pineapple.
or both. But that's it. Now you guys know that he is definitely the Blue Ranger. Remember that.
So that guy back there is the Black Ranger.
That guy back there is wondering why he's in this movie.
I haven't actually been looking at the other characters the way we just did here, where he's got the blue pin.
We
and
all
the blue-
know that the cliche in the original was whatever
Zach
color.
was wearing black, right?
First picture they showed of Kimberly, she was wearing a pink shirt with a pink phone case.
Yep.
Okay, so the first picture of Kim did have pink with a pink phone case.
Yeah.
Yep. So pink. So
Yeah.
we know that she's the Pink Ranger.
However, then the later picture, she's wearing like all black. So
Okay, well,
emo phase.
I mean, I guess. All right.
her
yeah.
she pulls a launch now.
They're
Next.
def-
She'll sneeze and her hair gets shorter and she
Oh.
becomes emo.
And this is Jason in his football uniform.
They should have had red school uniforms.
obviously not red. So
I mean, look, I'm sorry, but like we argued in the last video, you have to
He's not
cater to
Spider-Man.
the
He's not
style
gonna
that
wear red
created
Nikes.
it. And part of the style that creates Power Rangers is there has to be a little bit, even if you're taking it seriously, there has to be a little bit of that cheese factor. Kind of like when they took Superman, and they knew that every Superman show they'd ever done, he'd worn the blue tights and the spankies, and the shows had failed. They might have been okay, but they failed. So they said, we're going to do Smallville. He's never going to wear the tights, never no spankies, he's not going to fly, and we're just going to develop him over the course of time and tell more the story of Clark Kent. So they did that. And every chance they got, he would always wear like a red flannel that he had like not really on, but it was like over his shoulders, and he wore a blue shirt. And he would come up. Remember his thing that he did in class? He had like the machining class, and he came up and he was making that S, and he was holding it at his chest when he came up to show the people, and he was wearing a blue shirt, and they looked over at him, and he was like, Does this look okay? They gimmick it because they know people watching Smallville liked Superman. They gotta play to the audience. Blue Ranger Jason.
Light blue.
I mean, he's the only guy on the football team.
No.
I mean, yeah, there's going to be a football team, but out of the students,
That wouldn't be much of a football team if there's only one guy.
out of the students, he's the only guy on the football team. So why couldn't the school colors be red?
Don't get me wrong, when it comes right down to it, after he gets the coin, yes, he can be the only one on the football team.
I'm just saying, the
He'll
school
hike
colors,
the ball and run through everybody on his own.
in order to pander to the previous fans, the school colors should have been red and white, and he should have had a red football jersey. Because it would have worked to the idea that we grew up in. How does nobody know? Next.
And here's the football team.
Oh, look, they have red to mark opposition. And I think that's him standing on the outside without his helmet on. No, not that. Down.
Kind of tough to make out who that is back there.
Just because you zoomed in till it's like 2 pixels doesn't
Oh, that's easy who that is.
fucking jackass.
You know who that is, don't you?
Who, him?
That's Jason. Not Jason, that's Tommy. Trust me, it's Tommy.
Okay, I think in this picture, and I could be very wrong, but I actually think that's Jason because I think he's not allowed to play.
Yeah, because this
Actually,
picture,
yeah, that
this picture
probably
was
is.
taken because of Jason's not being able to play.
See,
His ineligibility.
because when you zoom in real close
Because
on
there's
him
a
like this,
ankle bracelet
You
thing.
you can kind of make out where this
can't make
this
out- no, you can't
this
make
blur right here
Nope,
just screams Jason.
it's like he's being censored.
No, see, and he's got
Bill.
one of those. He's got that shirt with the poop on it. The poop,
Hang on.
the poop
hang on.
emoji.
No, zoom out. Zoom out, though. My previous thing I said before I grabbed the microphone from Scott, why couldn't Jason have red cleats on? That guy's wearing red cleats.
That's kind of true.
Right. You need to play it up to the audience that you're trying to sell it to.
Now, back to my original point. Zooming in so we could try to make out pixels, we're reviewing Sentai, not fucking Bigfoot. Or the Loch Ness Monster.
But this is
or
almost
aliens.
this so far has been almost
Until we
as
get to
evasive.
Alien Rangers, but still. Yeah.
This New Rangers has been nearly as evasive.
There's Trini.
Oh, look, yellow.
Oh, this is the ugly chick, remember?
Wonder.
Remember from the trailer? They marked ugly chick on
Kids
her
can
locker.
be so cruel.
She is totally.
And this was the one who was actually the pop singer, not
Yeah.
the Pink Ranger.
Right.
Yeah.
I did. I saw that on
Is
our
it-
comments.
Now I can't really see the rest of the shirt, but does it say Wonder 90s?
Yeah, I think so.
Wonder 90s. Another nod.
I'm thinking so, maybe. I just can't get over the fact how ugly she is. I mean, I would totally not date that girl. I know. It's probably ugly.
Next.
Girl fucking calling her. Oh no. Oh, there we go. Wonder
Huh.
90s.
Yeah.
The 90s
Yeah.
thing has to be a throwback.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be a nod.
Got to next this. Her ugliness is fucking with me.
What is that?
It's probably just some sticker.
Sticker
It
on a
looks
locker.
like a sticker on a locker.
Woo!
Tiger's sticker on a locker.
Stop fucking scrolling. It's pixelated.
It is.
We can't make it out.
I can make it out.
Might be water. I don't know.
Tiger's
Hold
logo.
on, I can speak ancient Egyptian.
No, there is a
Scroll
reason.
until
There
there's
is a
one
reason I
pixel.
look at backgrounds and things like that. A lot of times in movies, a lot of 50 to 60% of the character that you're given is actually in the costumes, the backgrounds, and especially if they get a bedroom. If you pause a movie and go over the stuff that makes up the set, you'll learn more about the character than watching the movie 12 times through.
Yeah.
Next.
We're
Hey,
done.
look, we're done.
Huh.
But
Hey,
yeah,
look,
Look
we
at
only
that.
killed 20 minutes, whereas before we had like, what was it, 6 movie poster pictures, and we fucking killed like an hour and a half?
So now we are on some Power Rangers discussion of sorts.
Damn, we ain't had to do that one in a minute.
No shit.
yeah, but anybody who wants to try and check out this website, it is angelgrovehighschool.com.
Just that simple?
Yep.
Okay, no, that's cool. It looked neat. He showed it to me on his phone, and it looked kind of neat. I mean, it's an interesting little gimmick
They'll probably
to
update
try
it.
to sell Power Rangers.
They'll probably update it again once they get closer to the release.
And probably right when the movie releases, you'll see like they might even put merchandise on there or something.
Yeah, like
they might
Angel
say,
Grove
"Oh,
Tiger shirts or jerseys."
I'll bet you an article might appear saying something like "Rangers save Angel Grove and City" or
that
some
might
shit
be
like
after
that.
the movie.
That's exactly what I'm getting at. So that might be pretty cool. So
Discussion?
here we are at the discussion part of this thing. We have not been here in a while, Shane.
It's very true. Very true. What would you like to discuss?
What would I like to discuss?
Well, you guys might
What-
need to find something because I'm thumbing through comments like a motherfucker on our videos.
Well,
right
so
now.
what I'm about to do is we're going to stop the video right here so that we can find a topic and then we'll fill our hour. All right, so we're back. We have two things we're going to be discussing. Main thing we're going to discuss right here is what are you hoping, nothing negative, what are you hoping happens with this movie? What do you hope to see out of it? We'll do some negative later.
Well, here, I'll kick it off. What do I hope to see out of this movie? I hope that they are able to successfully bring Power Rangers into this new generation without everybody hating the movie as soon as they see it. I'm willing to accept change.
Yes.
Okay? In some things. Not Transformers. But no, I'm not gonna drag that out this time. But I like the casting choices. True, we haven't seen much of Zach do anything but
He's the
glamour
only one I
shots.
worry about.
But he could be buff as shit from his dancing.
Right. I just wish I could see some of the fun that Zach was.
And I agree with that, but we have to give it time, too.
We
Like,
still have at least another 2 trailers before this movie comes out.
and it
too.
looks like
Yeah.
they're really pushing 1 or 2 main Rangers, and the other 3 are just there to fill the spots.
Yes.
Which is kind of disappointing because they were all supposed to be equal in retrospect. Jason was the leader. You know what I'd like to see, though? A Tommy Oliver cameo.
Yeah, I would like to see a cameo by, I don't know, anyone.
What would be really sweet is if they just did like a panning shot like they do in these movies, and you see a janitor, and it's Jason David Frank fucking mopping the floor. He doesn't even have to say anything.
I would almost like a deal where, as the camera went by, like a teacher's thing, where a bunch of teachers are meeting, if you get every single Ranger that played in the original
And
series,
they're like in the teacher's lounge.
put them in dress clothes, just as if they were teachers. They don't have to do anything. They're just sitting there at the tables, like, and the camera kind of goes across that room, and you see them in there, like, talking. As long as they're present, and like you said, I don't care if they mop the floor. I don't care if they're teachers. I don't care if they walk down the hall. I don't care if when
Random
the
citizen on the street.
Yeah, I don't care if when
I have the best one for that. So they do the scene on the train, right? They get one of the dudes who played Bulk or Skull to be like the conductor of the train.
Or both of them.
Yeah. Or even better, you get Skull to be like...
I wouldn't even mind if when the attack happens and everybody's running down the street, you could see them all run out of one restaurant. And I hope it's like a juice diner.
Right?
Yeah.
Every single one of them just kick open that door and start running.
Yeah.
GTFO!
Well, actually, I was about to say, to make that one even better for my suggestion, we'll have, like, Bulk be like the train conductor and fucking call up the police, and of course the person answering would end up being fucking Skull sitting there like, hello, this is the police.
Right.
You know, because they became cops.
Like, I don't...
Fuck it, make reference to that.
I just don't think they even need speaking lines, because as fans like we are,
Right.
like I said, you could just do a panning shot, stop for a second on Jason David Frank, and people would go, oh shit, that's Tommy, and then keep going.
Yeah.
I don't care I don't care how slight it is. I feel like the movie needs it. There should be no reason to distance yourself from what made you what you are. Here's the problem, however.
I think it's the problem that I would have with that.
Some of these guys won't come back, Scott. They won't.
No, the issue I will have is probably the one that came with the Ghostbusters. The cameos there.
Here's the reason that didn't work in Ghostbusters. They tried too hard.
Yeah.
What we're talking about is a panning shot that lets us realize that, hey, did you see that? It's done.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a dude on a bus that has during a city shot where Jason and Zach are talking, and they're not even getting on the bus, but the bus stops, and the dude getting off of the bus happens to be our Billy, and he kind of gets off and like looks at his phone and then walks off, and he never says a word, and he's just in the background.
Or
I'm fine with it.
Business dude on the train turns the page on his paper, and it's John St. John there. You only see him while he's turning the page of his paper, and then he pulls the paper back up.
I mean, let's be honest. Movies like Superman pulled it off, where Superman was Lois's dad. And all he did was be like, yes, dear. And he was reading a paper. And that's it. That's all you need.
Wasn't
But
Lois her mom, too?
Ghostbusters tried way too hard.
They were like, hey, let's make a cameo for this movie, but the dude needs speaking lines.
And they force-fed those things hard.
I haven't even seen the movie.
Everybody had a cameo, and it was
Just
all
about everyone
awful.
except for Rick Moranis.
Like, they introduce
Wasn't Bill Murray a taxi driver?
No, that's Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah,
Bill,
that was
Dan Aykroyd is a taxi driver, and he literally...
I ain't afraid of no ghost. But I'm not going downtown.
It's way worse than that. I wish if that would have been the only thing, it would have been great. No. He drives up, stops, she goes to get in the cab, and she says something like, we gotta go downtown or something like that.
Down
and
to Chinatown.
He's like, no, I don't go to Chinatown. And she's like, what do you mean you don't go to Chinatown? You're driving around out here, you won't go to Chinatown? And he says, these are nothing but level 4 full floating torso apparitions. They don't really bother me. I ain't afraid of no ghost, but I don't go to Chinatown. Like that. And I'm like, no, that's too much. You just tried too hard. Then they bring in Bill Murray, and Bill Murray is like,
more or less
I'm
the
a
Walter
scientist,
Peck.
and I don't believe in all this ghost shit. Show me a ghost. So they show it to him, and it kills him. And it like drops him out of a window and kills him. And I was like, whoa, that's saying something negative hardcore about your series. Then right after they introduce him, they go further on, and they make the dude driving the hearse that is literally delivering dead people the original driver of the Ghostbusters car. The man most known for driving Ghostbusters car, Ernie Hudson. At least to me, he was always the dude in the driver's seat, in my opinion. Dan drove it quite a lot.
When it wasn't
but
Ray.
Ernie kind of felt more comfortable in the role for some reason. I just felt like he had more control of himself than the other guys did.
I didn't even see the movie, and I know that there's a fucking Harold Ramis one because they made his head into a fucking bust on the wall.
Yeah, he's the principal, like the dean or like main administrator of the college that the girl works at. And then going further from there, they make Sigourney Weaver some sort of scientist who's like, there was no purpose for her. She just like comes around a corner and it's Sigourney Weaver and you're like, oh cool. And then she starts talking a bunch of stuff that literally, like, by the end of the movie I was so zoning that she showed up, and I didn't care that she'd shown up, and then she said something stupid, and it kind of ruined the fact that she showed up. So, like, Ghostbusters tried too hard. And that was a lot of problem with Ghostbusters, is they'd be like, hey, let's do something really funny, and drag it out till it's not funny.
Yeah. But...
So now...
I mean,
I'd like to see them.
I would like to see those cameos. I mean, I would like to see some kind of cameos. If it's not all of them, at least some of the original.
And don't force it. For the love of God, don't force it.
Like, I don't want to see all of a sudden, like, I don't want to see the karate instructor of one of the schools or something like that being Jason David Frank. It's too much.
Yeah.
I don't need him to be like, you don't have to...
Or show him as a random dude on the street and be like, oh shit, aliens are attacking. No, you don't. Even if like when the aliens, like if the putties and whatnot, like start running the street,
if Jason David Frank is one of the few people where a bunch of people are running, and maybe like his wife or whatever, by character design that we can understand that must be somebody he's with, he kind of pushes her back and kicks one of them on its ass, and then they tackle him, and then we just move on because the rest of the chaos is happening.
That would be cool.
Then we're like, oh, that was sweet. Because we know who that is right there. But they don't.
that guy.
Yeah, they don't have to explain it to us, And he can even be overwhelmed and beat as long as there's a cameo, something to say, "We're not forgetting you." And I just don't know how to explain it. I agree with him. I think that if they're in there, they need to be in there. But I agree with you. You can't do that Ghostbusters 3 type of cameo. You can't oversaturate your own movie.
That's why I said if maybe just a few of them, not all of them.
And I know some that won't come back. They would have to offer an outrageous amount of money to David to get him back on camera.
I think the only ones that they probably could get is maybe for Kimberly.
Because from what I understand, David is fine with his legacy. I mean, shit, he even wore the Blue Ranger outfit not too long ago. But the reason he ain't coming back is because Saban disrespected him. And as a person resting on his own dignity, he ain't coming back. He will not work with them again because of what they let go down.
But I think the ones that we could see is maybe Amy Jo Johnson.
That might be hard because they can't seem to get her back. And I haven't heard her say any reason as to why, but she just does not want to come back.
Jason David Scott, probably.
Jason
It's
would
probably more
come
of a
back.
possibility.
Jason would come back in a second, and John would come back in a second. I do believe that.
Wayne Brady look-alike.
Yeah, Walter.
The original Zach.
Walter.
Walter, yeah.
He
What
I don't
happened to him?
I just think he's
just been doing other stuff. I
yeah.
mean,
He says like from what I've read, and I'm not no expert or anything by any means, but I just think he's really busy all the time. He always seems to have something he's doing.
I know that there was that. It's not.
But he attends Power Morphicons and shit like that, so I don't see that it would be impossible.
But with that
And
recent.
Austin has been showing back up to the Power Morphicons lately, so he's available.
Well, Austin St. John was also responsible for that little reunion movie that's not Power Ranger related, but it is.
Yeah, I remember that.
It has
I
a lot
was
of these
saying the
Power
name wrong.
Rangers.
It's not Johnson. It's Austin St. John. My bad.
But with them doing that kind of stuff, it wouldn't be too difficult to try and get a hold of some of those characters, even if it's not the original Rangers. You could probably bring in maybe some.
I would even like to see.
Turbo.
I would like to see Austin St. John at one of the football games wearing a red jacket as it goes across the crowd.
Actually,
Yeah.
he could be a coach.
I just like to see him in the stands wearing a
think-
red jacket
I-
and be the only dude there in a red jacket.
I think it would have been
just so he
cool.
stands out.
I think it would have been cool if you wanted to give one of them speaking lines. Austin St. John should have been Jason's father.
That would have been neat.
Yeah.
We thought from the
As
way
long
the
as he
trailer
doesn't
looked.
show up and get overused. But then again, man, this is complicated for one reason. When you talk cameos, I've seen movies that overdo it. Then I've seen movies where it looks like they could be overdoing it, but it somehow works. And then I've seen ones where it's not enough. There's a weird science to it because, like, making the original Flash the father of the Flash today, no, that's not, that's perfect.
Yeah.
It works so great. And now he's Jay Garrick. He's running around with the Flash powers.
Does he have the dish pan on
Yes,
his
he
head?
does.
Yeah.
He's from Earth 2.
Yeah.
He's Jay Garrick. He wears the crappy pants with the tennis shoes and the red shirt, and he even wears that helmet. And he's
After
running
I
around.
fight crime, I'm gonna strain spaghetti.
And he's now the older Flash, which is interesting because he's the older Flash.
And that's my issue.
I love that. It works so well, and the character works, and the guy is brilliant.
I mean, with him being another Flash, yes, I like it. But the first Flash is what confuses the fuck out of me because we all know him as the Barry Allen Flash in the old. But instead of being the actual Flash, he's...
I mean, I know Jason David Frank is the Green Ranger, but I mean, that doesn't make me hate the fact that he could cameo in this movie. I mean...
Well, I mean for the Flash.
He's pissed off that you brought up the fact that a cameo in the Flash show
is brilliant.
is awesome.
Is off. Because, remember the scientist?
Christopher Reeve played a scientist in Smallville, and it was brilliant. And he was, as far as I'm concerned, he is Superman. Nobody's ever come close.
Yeah.
But that didn't make me hate the fact that he showed up.
The issue with the Flash, though, is that the two main characters were brought into the Flash series, the newer Flash series. The scientist played a version of herself that helped. You know what? Fuck it. Nobody's going to understand. Fuck it.
I get who you're talking about, but she plays the head of research for an opposing firm to Star Laboratories.
The same name that she had in the previous series.
Which is fine, since you're talking about a show that has quite literally crossed dimensional barriers and entered not only different times, but different realities and different dimensions. He was on Supergirl. And Supergirl is a CBS. And even when he went over there, the CBS actors literally looked at him at one point, and they even make a comment against his network saying, "You look like you're from the cast of a CW show." Purposely pointing out the fact that you don't belong here.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't, because he's crossing dimensions. So if we say in an alternate dimension, those two characters, the one that you're not quite liking and Barry's dad, are the Flash and that lady in the series had it never ended, that makes perfect sense because they've already done it. Jay Garrick is the same guy who is the dad of Barry in a different universe, and in that in that current universe right now, that dad is dead, which leaves only Jay Garrick. So he went from playing the Flash back then to playing the Flash today. He's still the Flash. And that other girl, yes.
Yes.
She shows up in episodes randomly, and I never really get any real time with her. But they did do something real cool where they kind of gimmicked it. When they released Barry's dad from prison, they had a house party at Barry's, and they'd invited that woman, and the two sat down for a drink and were kind of talking at the couch, and it was real subtle. It was in the background. They didn't even focus on them. The entire scene was focused on these two characters up here, and I pointed it out to her. I was like, look! Because those two characters were like getting together in the background where they were starting to talk and drink coffee, and it looked like they might be interested in one another, which plays to the idea that in an alternate dimension, they were together. So the attraction is there. It works. Kind of like how in an alternate dimension, Lois Lane and Christopher Reeves are two scientists working together instead of two journalists working together.
Yeah.
Because in Smallville, those two are still together. But they're two scientists. So I don't
Much
I don't
like
see
how
it.
in an alternate dimension there's a Zordon talking to Rangers, whereas in the other dimension the Rangers are getting fucked up because Zordon isn't there.
Right, and now there's a new
Hey, you
Zordon
brought it full
who
circle
talks to
back Power
Rangers.
Rangers.
There's a new Zordon who can talk to Rangers today.
And he sells meth.
And then dis-a-fucking-peer because, he's
Oh, wait.
he's busy.
And for that matter, is that guy alive? Is Zordon alive?
I remember in the original, in the 95
think he
movie,
might be. Hold
he
on.
was alive, but the tube got broke and he died.
No. I mean,
no,
the
he
actor.
means the
Can he
actor.
cameo? Is he alive?
The original actor for Zordon? Hell, I
Could
don't
you
know.
even do like a weird scene where you walk by like a shopping mall? Like in the mall, right? Perfect scene for Kimberly. If she's walking down the aisle and in the mall there could be a dude that kind of turns around and looks out the aisle to look at her, and the logo on the mall happens to have this blue eye, right? Where the logo is, and his face happens to be in the blue eye when he turns around, the camera goes by and his face. Perfect. That would
Wow.
be awesome.
Or he's like, he's selling pottery and he holds up a blue glass vase to
Yeah,
the
and
window.
he's trying to position it right at that moment when the camera goes by him, and now it looks like he's in the tube. That'd be the best.
Why aren't we directing this movie?
No shit!
So much better. We have no money.
I don't know if he's alive. Do you know?
I think is?
Old as fuck, probably.
I don't know. The actor is what's killing me, and I don't think
Okay.
they had him for very long. They did like
Are you
2 days
talking-
of scenes, and then after the 2 days of scenes, they used stock footage for the whole
Okay.
show.
I have Zordon as portrayed by David Fielding
Voice.
as a voice, Robert L. Mann as a voice, Nicholas Bell as a voice from our fucking movie, and Bryan Cranston from the fucking new movie. Nobody's got him listed as
Nobody
an actual
knows
actor.
who was his face.
Yeah, who the fuck was his face?
Who was the
I
face
can't
of
fucking
Zordon?
remember, though.
Internet, help
Okay,
us.
now look, this is the reason this is making me insane right now, because somebody, and they got torn apart in our comments for doing this, but somebody in our comments said, would it blow your mind to know that the face was recorded from bulk, but
And-
the voices were taken from different actors? And I said, no way. And then people attacked the shit out of them
Yeah, because it was wrong.
in our comments saying, no, you're wrong, and fuck yourself, and learn your facts. And I'm
No,
like, then who is it?
I actually looked it up. It wasn't the same guy who
Right,
was
but who is it?
Nobody knows. Help us, Internet. It's not bulk, by the way, so don't bring that up
I
again.
thought it was that Robert Fleming guy that I remember looking up the other time.
You're right. I remember reading that. They only filmed him for like 2 days. They
Right.
face capped him for 2 days
And that was it.
and then recycled it and threw voice lines over it.
Right. So, like, that's another reason the voice, his lips never matched, because they just used the same movement over and over and over again and voiced over him, and it worked. And he was
say-
blue.
Did he say he wants us to order pizza? I can't read his lips. He's
I can't-
transdimensional.
No idea what's going on here. He's
If
very
we
blurry.
break the tube, he'll be laying there. Transdimensional. Ignore that plot hole.
Go knock on it. Just ask him to holler through the glass.
Yo, dude. Stop it. That's like knocking on a cage at the zoo.
Like, I just don't get it. That's weird that we can't figure out who he was.
You know,
Again,
though,
I've got David, but once
but
again, that's the
to
fucking
bring that up,
voice.
that we don't know who that is, the new Zordon, Bryan Cranston, wasn't credited when he was the monsters in the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
That's true. From what I read, he was in the series.
He's like different monsters.
Yeah, but
I
he
want
was
to say,
never credited.
I don't
in
know
the
if he was
credits as
using.
one of the
Was he
monsters.
using a fake name?
Maybe, I think.
Because some actors do that. They'll use kind of like an alias name.
Oh, Bryan Cranston? Yeah.
Yeah.
He even admitted it in the Larry King interview that you hate so much, because Larry King doesn't give two shits about anybody or any fucking thing.
Yeah, he literally
other
doesn't
than
even
his own
care about.
goddamn
He
self.
didn't care a thing about Rangers, but he was interviewing for Rangers, and he was incredibly condescending about the interview.
That's Larry King.
He pissed me
However-
off about that.
I'm going to have to say that they are correct. It's got to be this David Fielding guy, because here's a side-by-side.
Okay, let's see this guy. He looks very.
You can
He looks
scroll up
Zordon
to find
to
a better
me.
fucking picture.
Okay, is he alive?
I would believe this. I don't.
Can we tell
It,
if he's
like I
alive?
it
said,
doesn't
I can't
say
really
he died.
find
It
shit.
just says born
It
March
just says
1st,
born. He can.
1963.
I don't see a reason he can't make a blue-faced cameo. Or could you paint his face blue for the bowl game if their colors are blue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Light blue face paint.
Light blue face paint.
Light blue face paint, and he's the motherfucker calling the game.
I don't even care if he's just one of the. I don't.
No, like the
because
announcer.
How many people are actually going to be like paying attention? So
Right.
he could be the dude up in the booth, and they could go up to it while he's sitting up in the booth. And the Wildcats get down for another touchdown.
These Rangers are really taking it in.
These
They're
Rangers
not-
are really feeling it.
What are they? What are they called? They're not like.
No, they're actually called Tigers, so.
Okay,
Well, yeah,
okay.
The Angel
'cause that-
Grove High School Tigers.
Okay.
White Tigers. Power. Sword.
Right.
Fucked up football team name, but let's get back to the action. But no, like, cameo would be cool. I'd like to see a cameo. What I don't want to see is a forced cameo. I don't need Jason David Frank whooping 6 asses before they take the camera off of him, because it's like, okay, look, if you wanted him to be in the movie, you should have just cast him in the movie.
Exactly. That's too forced to me.
But then again, we don't know the full cast for this movie, too, so.
I mean, that's true. And in some of the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger shows, Jason David Frank was more of a mentor.
The thing that would kill me is if they brought somebody like Jason David Frank into this movie and made him a main character. I feel like it's not right. And the reason I say that is because you can't You can't reboot something
And then use an old one for
and
the
then
main
use
character.
the old guy to reboot it.
Well, what about Spock?
That's not a reboot. The Kelvin universe is not a reboot. It's a split timeline.
Isn't
it's
that
a
what they were
reset.
originally talking about for this movie, though?
Originally, but that's impossible now because Zach is white and Billy is black. And I hate to be, I'm not trying to be racist here, but let's be honest, if all we did was go back in time, what happened?
Yeah.
Somebody went
Because-
back a little
We also
Well, okay,
we also
look.
cannot have gone back in time because Kimberly has a smartphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a reboot. Whether
Yeah.
they lied when they said we will address all original continuity. No, you will not.
Yeah.
This is a reboot with new people, new characters.
They are
Yeah,
addressing the continuity issues. They erased them.
He kind of has a point. They did erase all continuity issues by erasing the fucking timeline.
Yeah, it kind of works.
Because, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, the
Ghostbusters
fans
kinda
pointed
did it,
out
too.
the fact that, what's his name? The original actor who played Zach. He originally was cast to play Billy, and he was like, no, I'd rather be Zach.
Right.
And they were like, okay, cool, that's fine. So, I mean,
Originally-
technically, yes, they're right.
Originally,
But
Billy
look,
was
by
supposed
show
to be black.
continuity,
Right.
there's no fucking way.
So there's no way that this went back in time because all of a sudden the ethnicity of a couple of actors changed. And there's no way you could ever explain that by going back in time and all of a sudden you're like,
I can explain it.
hey, what's up, Zach? And he's like, what? Is that, what?
I can explain it. Ignore that obvious plot hole.
Right. So
You didn't say it right.
this is not
Don't view that plot.
this
hole.
isn't a Star Trek reboot where
By the way,
Tommy
you just
went
gotta
back in
throw
time.
in a forgetful Akira Toriyama just because we have the meme for it now.
it's not it's not what it is.
We got to use it whenever we got it.
So, is there anything else you hope to see or hope they don't try to force?
Okay, well, look, I know the Megazord is going to be in it, and rather than bitch about that again, I want there to be a legitimate monster fight. That is
Not
I
just
don't-
Goldar.
Well, I want there to be, a monster and maybe some buildings and maybe some destruction and maybe some Megazord fighting and not in a giant open desert area that doesn't exist anywhere in real life.
You mean by the command center or
Like,
whatever.
if she's attacking the city, I want them to defend the city, even if that's completely ridiculous.
Not the desert,
we saw
55
images of
miles
that.
away.
Yeah.
We saw images of that, though.
Well, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I want that.
Yeah, but that was also concept art.
We don't-
Who knows how well they're going to follow the concept
We don't want to
art.
defend the barren desert 55 miles north of Angel Grove.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're up against the hypocrisy.
Those cacti are endangered.
There's massive hypocrisy
Stop
with
them,
people that
Rangers.
watch movies. Because people that watch movies are attacking the DC films like, and say what you will about the DC films, say what you will about the Marvel films, I'm not here to defend or destroy them. I'm just here to put down one simple thing. They say, why would Superman fight Zod in the middle of the city, killing all those people? Why didn't he leave the city? Okay, why didn't Iron Man leave those damn giant whales out of the city? Why'd he fly around buildings and crash into everything that there was to crash into? Nobody complained about that. That was awesome!
Yeah.
But we punched Zod through a building because that's where the fight happened to be taking
You
place.
want to know why Superman didn't leave the city? Because Zod wouldn't have followed him.
Exactly!
Yep.
And the same thing goes for the Iron Man. Why did he not lead the whales out of the city?
They
Because
wouldn't
there
have
was
left.
a gaping hole in the sky where enemies were coming from on the city.
Yeah.
Like, so then if you're going to attack the city,
Be in the city when you fight giant monsters.
yeah, be in the city when you attack giant monsters.
I don't know how you guys felt about this movie, but it has been proven you can do an in-city cool monster fight by Pacific Rim.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still need to watch that.
It's pretty neat.
It's a pretty good movie.
So do I, but even from the bits that I've seen, yeah, you could still do a fight inside the city, no problem.
Because you could tell that the Jaeger was CGI, you could tell that the Kaiju was CGI,
Yeah.
but it still looked good in the Shanghai that I think it was Shanghai that they were fighting in, but it still looked good.
Right.
Yeah. And considering the fact that, again, this is kaiju, this is fucking Godzilla. Where does Godzilla stomp around in? Let me think. The fucking city.
Tokyo.
Every now and again when he's fighting a random monster, yeah, they might be at Monster Island destroying the island away from civilization.
It happens.
But where do you know Godzilla from?
Tokyo.
Breaking down fucking cities.
Godzilla
Right.
2000 when he was destroying New York.
So I'm
No,
kinda,
that's Zilla. That's different.
So I'm kind
My
of
bad.
hoping. I'm kind of hoping that works. That they're actually in the city. And I'm praying that Megazord is amazing.
Here's another thing. All right, we haven't seen Bryan Cranston yet as Zordon in a trailer.
True.
We haven't seen whatever the
Alpha.
actor's name is that's playing Alpha 5 yet in a trailer.
Bill Hader, I think.
Okay, thank you, Seth. I
know it's
hope
a comedian,
Alpha
so
doesn't
it's
look
him.
shitty. Like he wasn't
The concept
great.
art.
Concept
Concept
art.
art made him look like something out of The Day the World Stood Still or something.
Yeah.
Actually, you want me to explain it the best for something that Spencer probably would understand? He kind of looked like one of the Starmen from fucking Earthbound.
Oh,
Yeah.
can I have back gold frisbee head with like black dryer tubing?
Well, think of it more instead of
Can
like
I
the
have
2D
back?
like shit gray colored thing, like
It's metallic.
actual like metallic in your face, like I could fucking break your face.
Okay, but did the colors match the old Alpha 5? Like,
Not that I saw.
No,
He looks
just
very.
metal.
The thing with this movie is, like I said, they're targeting the adrenaline audience.
Yep.
And the more I see of it, I've tried to be very, very, very positive, and I have been mostly. But with the newer material that's coming out, it's very obvious. Zordon is going to be darker. Alpha's going to be darker. The Zords are going to be darker.
Rita's a skank.
Yeah, I guess Rita's a skank. I still don't see that, to be
I
fair.
don't either,
but
Neither do I, but fuck the internet.
but there, it looks like the whole situation, the teens look darker by comparison. Like everybody looks a little more edge.
head cannon. You ready? I'm gonna put a cannon to your head, and kaboom. Okay? Who's the villain for the new movie? Rita, right?
Okay.
Giant monster fight. Confirm the theory we've been talking about for months. Rita needs to throw the wand down to the fucking ground, and the Dragon Zord needs to come out of the fucking ocean and fight the Megazord.
That would be neat.
Confirm she's got the Green Ranger power,
Yeah.
but don't show anything about it until the movie comes out.
And then if they knock that Dragon Zord on its ass because she can't maintain its power, they would be a whole bunch of, well, whatever that thing was that almost took us out, Zordon would be like, let's keep it in my command center. And then they, if they try to hide it down under the ocean or whatever, the Angel Grove Ocean
It
Lake.
would make sense
Lake.
whenever they gain control of the green power for it to come out of the ocean lake.
Yep. That would be
that's
neat.
actually one of those things that I was going to say is what I would love to see out of this is every superhero movie here lately has been having like a post-credit scene.
Right.
Rita gets her ass whooped, Rangers save the day, yay, go Rangers. Tommy Oliver would, of course, find the fucking coin. I want to see Rita go up to the Moonosphere to make her castle, if she doesn't do it in the movie.
Now, with this new Edge-type movie, you think they're going to have the Moonosphere?
It's
Or you think
possible.
they're
Probably,
gonna-
yeah.
No, with all this science crap, this pseudo-science crap they're trying to throw around?
It wouldn't be hard to explain that she has the power to terraform the moon.
Yeah, it's kind of true.
But what would that do to our planet if
Nothing.
the moon was actually a planetoid body and
Nothing.
not a rock?
Nothing.
Because as long as the moon does not change mass
Okay.
and
Everything
stays in its
stays the
orbit,
same,
So
yeah.
that doesn't
Everything
hurt
stays
us at
the
all.
same.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the moon would sustain as a life-producing body?
even if she only put a dome on it and terraformed a dome to survive in,
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of true. But like I said, so she goes to the Moonosphere, has her fucking castle, blah, 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 and she's sitting around like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Goldar could be like, well, you could always call him. No, I'm not calling him yet. Go ahead, cut there. Lead towards Zed. Because it's going to have to fucking happen.
or don't have them fight the Dragon Zord. Your after credits scene, you just see from the back Rita sitting there cackling. You see her face, and the camera pans out and you see a green suit as the camera cuts off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're talking fucking 7 movies.
Yeah.
You gotta find a way to keep that edge going if they're
after
actually
they
gonna pull
released
this
that
off.
information, and then I saw this Megazord, and I'm sorry, but we're gonna have 7 Transformers movies too, and they haven't done us a lot of favors.
Can we stop with the Transformers?
Well, I know
I get it, but I mean, I feel like I can't help but that Megazord worries me. It is the quintessential deal breaker of everything that has come before it. I've been able to shrug my shoulders and turn a blind eye and say, I haven't seen it yet. But I see that Zord, and I see the CGI that I know is going to go into making this Zord work. And there's only one comparable aspect that we have on any form of movies in present day.
Optimus Prime.
They stole this idea. The design is stolen from Optimus Prime. And what breaks my fucking heart is we were just talking about it. Pacific Rim. You know what those are? Robots.
Yep.
Super robots.
Here was my
Super
argument.
fighting robots.
Here was my
but not
argument.
Mega Man.
Here was my argument. Michael Bay, you want to learn how to do giant robot fighting right? Talk to Guillermo del Toro.
Yep.
Because he fucking hit it out of the park with Pacific Rim.
And this is what I'm scared of. Pacific Rim, those are super robots.
Yep.
Super robots fight giant kaiju. This new thing is a transformer.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is not a super robot. It is not the same thing. You missed the ball. Okay? Strike.
Yep.
So, what I would be looking forward to with this movie, hopefully, I mean, we've been talking about this a lot. It's like, whether it is an end credit scene or just at the end before the main credits, is hinting at the Green Ranger in some form, whether it is a power coin, a costume, or Tommy Oliver appears at the high school.
Yeah, some minor thing to show us that the Green Ranger is coming. Because how many of us in this room can honestly say that Tommy Oliver was their favorite Power Ranger? Raise your hand.
My man crush.
Oh, hey, look. More than half of us.
Yeah.
And I know I would love to see a cameo, 2 cameo, 3 cameos from other Rangers.
But here's the other problem. Now we're looking at 7 movies. And I bear a question. This is called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, okay?
Nope. It's
What do you
just
mean?
Power Rangers.
Then we're in trouble. No, I don't think you realize why we're in trouble. 7 movies. The only thing they chose to go with is Power Rangers. You know why they did that?
So they could expand into Turbo and
He just did
Dino
it.
Rangers.
Yep.
You
Tropic
cannot
Thunder
cover.
or
You
whatever
can't
the fuck
cover
it was.
7 movies. This is exactly what they're doing.
If they add subtitles.
It's gonna 7 movies is exactly.
Yeah,
I
no.
promise you, this is what just happened.
How many theatrical releases did Mighty Morphin Power Rangers get?
1,
And that turned them into the Ninja Rangers.
Yep.
and then you know what they got after that?
Turbo.
Yeah, but you know what that was? That was a Zeo movie
Yep.
that turned them into cars.
Sure,
So what this is, if history has taught us the way Saban likes to function, this is a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie that will be followed by a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie that will be followed by Zeo, that will be followed by Cars, that will be followed by... You get the idea?
Uh-huh. Oh, you forgot something in between, though.
You're looking at 7
You
movies.
forgot Alien Rangers for the first, 15 minutes of your Zeo movie before moving on to
Because
Zeo.
now you're no longer talking about dropping the continuity and moving through the continuity of Power Rangers. And let's say you were. First movie, Rita. Second movie, Green. Third movie, White. We're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
Guess what? Fourth movie, that's Zeo time. Fifth movie, it's time to drive cars.
Sixth movie, it's time to go into space.
Yeah.
Deal with some bugmen.
Seventh movie, we kill Zordon, we save the universe from space.
Yep.
Actually,
Oh, and there's a crossover with Michael Bay
Turtles.
Oh, no.
Let's end on that. It's an hour.
And let's not forget about the crossover with a Masked Rider, too.
Oh, yeah. There's also got to be some Kamen Rider crossover.
We're never going to get that here in
Can we-
America.
It's been an hour. Can we just put this out of its misery now? Because I'm feeling sad now.
Yep. Hey, guys, did you like that podcast? If so, remember to check out fandomnight.com. At fandomnight.com, you can drop a line to this show, or you could check out other podcasts as well. We cover all kinds of topics, everything from comic books, wrestling, movies, TV shows, video games, animes, mangas. It's outrageous. We seem to have a podcast for just about everything, and you have access to it just by going over to fandomnight.com. So check it out, guys. We're going to get out of here.